Hi Michelle, really great session on Monday. I really enjoyed getting started. Main points from the session were to do with more of a consistency with your strike. We know you've got plenty of club head speed to try and get the ball out there, especially with the driver. The main issue for you was trying to improve the strike, obviously, so then you've got to be thinking the efficiency of the golf swing as a whole. Because we tended to find that you hit a lot of toe shots, so obviously not getting the ball out the centre of the club face obviously robs you of all that power that you've generated during your swing. We'll just take you through one quickly here. One thing just before we start the backswing, I wanted to look at just one or two things here. Obviously, handle back slightly, which actually closes the club face a little bit, causing you to obviously lose a bit of loft at impact, a little bit of height, and obviously a little bit of power. And you can't see it so much from this angle too much, but we tend to have the arms a little bit bent as well, so that we'll get to that point in a second as why that had so much of an issue. So we get to the top of the backswing. And yes, there are little issues here that we will work on in the future, but as we start down, I want you to have a look at the space between your arms. So as we come into the golf ball here, you can see that space between your elbows is increased, which has pulled the club, so pulled the butt end of the club, sorry, into your body, obviously pulling the head away from the ball. Now if we just watch here, watch the club head, and just watch it open there, so that's a massively toe-ended strike. So obviously hitting off the toe is robbing you of ball speed, it's creating a lot of right to left spin, and it's obviously going to start everything out to the right as well. So if we just get rid of that line and through into your follow through here, you can see there that gap between your elbows is actually getting wider and wider. Club's coming closer and closer into your body, and as a result you're able to lean forward to try and get as close as you can to it anyway. Let's turn that back to the start. I just want to point out a couple of things. Obviously we've got Justin Rose in the middle here, really good example of this. If you have a look at setup here, arms perfectly straight, they won't be rigid, they'll be, like I said, straight, almost like, it's called more like muscular readiness rather than tense. That's obviously not what we want at all. Now if we just take this back and through, and we'll get to his impact position. So let's speed that up a little bit. Top of the back, so you can see the arms remaining straight. Now as he starts down here, he's going to squeeze the elbows together into impact. If you have a look at that, you've got this position here, and not a very big gap between the elbows at all. Just whip yours forward. Into impact. There we go. And just see elbows coming apart. Yeah, so you can see the slight difference into impact there. So the point we were trying to get across really to improve this was that setup, just giving the arms a bit straight, almost feel like you were pinching the elbows together. And then as we start down, feeling as though you're squeezing the elbows together into impact. You can see there, I'm not saying this is perfect, it's going to need to be worked on. Definitely not as big a gap. And then as we go through here, you can see the hands getting much further away from your body. You can tell that basically means that the elbows aren't separating as much. Roughly the same position there. You can definitely see the arms coming away from your body a lot more, allowing the club to actually reach the ball properly. To see there, look how Justin Rose really squeezes the elbows together, really gets his arms extended away from his body. That's the sort of feel we're looking for. Obviously, there's little bits in there as well that we're going to work on as we go through, but one step at a time, and this is your main thing to work on. And actually, throughout the session, we had a look at the numbers on the flight scope, and we talked about a smash factor, which is basically how efficient your ball striking is. So obviously, trying to get that number up closer to 1.5. We were looking at about 1.35 and getting up there towards sort of 1.48 by the end of the session. So massive improvement. So basic similar club head speeds giving you increased ball speeds, which is really what we're after anyway. So really well done. If you've got any issues, give me a call or drop me an email. Best of luck, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.